It's very cool seeing 77 episodes for this, because originally I never knew where it was going to go or what it was going to do, what I wanted to do with it. Still not sure where it will go. But it's a cool little experiment in the aggregation of marginal gains, and especially because you start it and 5 episodes seems like a long way away, even if they're only 10 minutes long, and to get this far now I feel like, I'm not that far from 100, which is a cool milestone in my brain. 99 and 101 are also really neat milestones. And I appreciate everybody for listening. Whoever has listened, I don't think we're not replacing the nightly news with this yet, but it's definitely been a learning experience for me, and I really enjoy it. And I think the podcast itself is a experimentation and an embodiment of what started it all, which was the concept of get rid of your list and just do the first thing that's on top of it and think of something next and do that thing and just keep hacking away at it until you get somewhere. So I've really enjoyed that approach lately, and I think I've been going pretty strong with that approach. And we've talked about the upsides, downsides. For me, the lists, related to work, and I see a difference here, maybe equivocating of a reminder list and a to-do list. Definitely with the job-related things, I need to put things down as far as do this, email this person, check in with this person, review this thing. It's hard to keep all that in my head. But as far as the day-to-day want-to-dos, or maybe personal goals and things like that, you just go do something, get it done, and then think about, what is the next thing I want to do? It's a pretty effective way to move, because you can always just pause and look back and say, hey, is this moving to me to some arbitrary goal or desire or anything that I'm really interested in? The other thing I like about the no list thing in retrospect is I found myself doing some things I might not normally do or prioritize on the list. So appreciated that for sure. Neat little look back, which got me thinking about the point of looking back. I've been a little preoccupied lately with the preoccupation with nostalgia. And I'm not quite sure what I want to say about this one yet. But a lot of it has to do with the fact, especially when things aren't going well, I have to raise an eyebrow at the phrases like, we need to go back to the way things were, or, just the complete obsession with the past, or that the past had only the good things in it compared to the present or future, especially when things aren't going well. Could be any sort of environment or context. But I just think it's an interesting thing, and I don't know if it's a great sign. If I'm struggling with something and my solution then becomes, well, I need to go backwards. I need to revert to some former. And there's nothing. I think something that's good about the present is that you're in it. I think that's probably one of the best things about it. I think something that's amazing about the future is that it hasn't happened. There's a lot of ability to change it. There's a lot of ability to, in my opinion, determine it. Your outlook, performance, worldview will be better if you take that view of it. I think the danger of looking so wantingly to the past is that it's already happened. Happened, and it can't happen any other way. And things have to move forward. Time doesn't stop. When something great happens in your life, when something bad happens in your life, everything else keeps rolling. That's an interesting thing to think about. I was talking to somebody a little while ago, and they had a pretty hard go of it. Some things happened in their life. They lost a loved one. And to kind of sit down and talk to them about it and hear their perspective of it, and have, see them in real time, realize that, like, as consumed as I was by this thing and moving through it, it's like the rest of the world just didn't stop. And I'm not saying, this could be easily construed as me saying that you don't have fondness for things that happened in the past. You don't see how things that were good in the past have perhaps changed now. You don't learn from the past in that way. I think that is absolutely important. That's one of the biggest reasons history in the past and our memories exist. So we can learn from what the hell happened. Don't keep touching the stove 15 times. Remember that it burnt your hand. Or remember this really beautiful thing that happened, and carry that into the future. What I'm really talking about is like, the wholesale, we need to go back, or, the OGs will save us. I think that's just an interesting outlook. Again, I'm not putting any of that down, or saying that you can't look on it fondly or remember it well and smile about those memories or even learn things from them. But it's a sign to me that you're stuck. I feel like I'm stuck when I start wanting that. A while ago, my Cassandra and I were really, really fortunate. We were renting a place, and then we bought a house, and the house was a lot. And we kept having this desire, we need to go back. We should go back to our other place. It was smaller, it was more manageable, it was blah, 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 fill in the blank. We need to go back. And eventually I just realized, no matter what we do, we cannot go back. Maybe we do change our current scenario, but we're not going back. And I think that was like a really important lesson we learned, because the more, all of the fears that we imposed upon ourselves by moving, and anyone I think who's probably ever bought a house has experienced this, the emotional cost increases, the physical cost of the house increases likely, the financial cost of the house increases likely, and you feel that pressure. And if I take the attitude of, well, in order to fix this, in order to remove these stresses from my life, I need to go backwards. I think you completely stifle yourself from growing. You don't confront the challenge. You basically see it, get freaked out by it, turn around and run the other way. You learn nothing about how to overcome this new challenge. And that doesn't mean you maybe downsize your house in the future or whatever. But the idea is you won't learn those lessons of like, well, hey, there's this thing I like about the house, but maybe I want to do something different. Or I feel like the house is really financially daunting, so I'll just run away instead of digging in and learning how to confront that, overcome that, grow myself in my career or role. And there's so many things I could think about, not even just a house that just kind of came to mind, because it was one where we had a lot of that language of we need to go back. And instead, the more we dove into addressing our concerns, the time challenges at the time, I feel like we've learned a ton about where we want to go next. I don't know how much going back headlong gets you there. And again, I'm not saying you can't appreciate and enjoy the past and learn from it. What I'm saying is if your solution to move forward is to say, we just need to return to a time when all the things occurred before now, I'd take a second look at that and see where that path gets you. Been thinking about that one a lot lately in a lot of different areas. And what's also really interesting about that path is I do think when you accept to move on from the past, you hold the things that happened there in even more of a cherished way. Because that's actually why I think moments and memories and events that occur and even, parts of the history are so beautiful and wonderful, because they are not permanent. At least in my view is, there is so much in life that is ephemeral, and that's what makes these little moments so special. And even some past moment, despite how special it was, or event or a relationship or something, how special it was, doesn't mean that it couldn't be again. And so that's again why I think it's so important for me to take this view, avoid rumination, wallowing, even a desire to return to the way things were, because constantly thinking about that prevents you from recognizing and seeing those things that are occurring right now that won't be there in moments as time in the future continue to move forward. So good day plan today. Going to do the open workout 25.1, some hang, clean, and jerks, burpees, and lunges. Excited to do that. And got a cool little setup for that one. And just keep moving forward. So appreciate the listens. to 78 and beyond. And we'll see you tomorrow.